your kid's watching a movie and tells you, don't worry, it's PG-13, well, you might want to check it out for yourself.
A study from Ohio State University found that movies with an R or restricted rating back in the 1980s were actually less violent than movies getting a PG-13 rating today. Reportedly, PG-13 films today have 3 times more gun violence than when such rating was first introduced back in 1985.
In the early days of film, producers realized that sex and violence sells tickets.
Therefore, the amount of mature content in movies has slowly been increasing, and there was a rating system established to help parents keep their kids from seeing sex, violence, and other profanity.
The PG-13 rating didn't actually even exist until 1984.
When the second installment of the Indiana Jones series, The Temple of Doom, was released, containing minor violence and gore. Not enough for an R rating, but needed something stronger than a G rating. These ratings are helpful, but the amount of mature content and themes in movies is increasing.
In the top-grossing films, over 90% of them have some violence.
And just because it's PG-13 does not guarantee a censor.
Any theme, even interspecies sex, can be depicted in a PG-13 film. Mr. and Mrs. Smith shows 75 deaths, and it's only PG-13.
PG-13 is good for Hollywood because it doesn't restrict anyone from going into the theater. What do you think about the change in rating standards from the 1980s to today?
I think there is a difference. What was parental guidance before might be PG-13 now, and this might be a little bit of a problem when students can go to these movies and see inappropriate things. Mm-hmm.
We are being desensitized to violence.
Well, you know what? I think they have to keep up in the ante. You know what I mean? Like I think they have to. If they have 20 swear words one movie, the next one's got to have 40, right? Or if they have, 10 people killed in this movie, they better have 20 in the next, right? So I think.
Sometimes action and brutality is just the focus and there's not even a story.
Probably over the last 10 years, I've noticed that movies have tend to be more inappropriate, or they tend to be trying to shock their audiences a little bit more, and it's like everyone keeps pushing the envelope a little bit farther.
Yes, there probably is more violence today in movies than there was 15 or 20 years ago.
Do you think that it's better that children be exposed to this type of thing when they're younger?
No, I definitely think there's a time and a place, and I do worry about kids being exposed to too much too soon.
You know what? I think if they're exposed to it with somebody like a parent or a guardian, so they can actually explain to them why they're watching it, as opposed to leaving them on their own.
Even, you go see a PG-13 movie or something, and you take your little niece with you, and you're going, ugh.
Honestly, I have to say, you showed us something in that film that I have not seen for a very, very long time.
The ratings are designed to provide information for parents. However, like everything else in the media, ratings are biased. As our culture becomes more exposed to violence, sex, and other explicit content, be aware of what your children are watching.
Movies offer us an escape. Movies inspire us. I'm not saying that movies are the most important thing in the world, because we all know that the most important thing in the world is youth.